Hi, everybody. I am so excited you are here with us today. We're going to have a fantastic episode today. We have Coach Joe Kennedy with us, and he has a new film out. It's called Average Joe. You want to see this movie. It is so good. It's actually based on his life, so it's a true story, and it's just a fantastic film. My name is Cami Burkell, and I am here today with Momentum Influencers Network. Thanks for joining us. Hi, Coach Joe. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, thanks for having me. This is awesome.
It's so great to have you. So let's dive right into it. Tell us about your new film, Average Joe.
Yeah, that's always a tough one. How do you explain the story about yourself? Well, it's
Right.
it's it's almost embarrassing and weird at the same time. It's about my life of growing up kind of in a hard time, joining the Marine Corps, finding my love for my country, finding the love of my life, which is my wife now, and the love of God, and really just being able to fight and I don't know, just survive through everything that we've been through and to come out victorious on the other side.
Well, I saw the film and just absolutely loved it. I mean, captivated the entire time and just getting to hear about your life story and, all the challenges that you faced from being very young up until just this great battle with the Supreme Court and everything was so absolutely inspiring. And so, can you just tell us a little bit about kind of what it has felt like to have a film made about your life and what that process has been for you? Most people don't have that.
And I don't blame them. It is so weird to see people actually playing you. My wife and I, we went down to be on set when we did the filming with Eric Close and Amy Acker, and just to be there and for them to ask us how our mannerisms are and want to spend time with us and how we play these different parts, what was we feeling during these certain things, and it was just awesome and weird at the same time. Now that it's there, we were like, sure, this is going to happen. Somebody's going to make a movie out of this. We just blew it off, and finally it's here, and it's just kind of all buzzing right over our head, and we're drowning in it.
Yes, that's amazing. Yeah, I can't imagine. So, just a fun question for you. What led you into becoming a football coach?
That was the weirdest thing. I had no desire to be a coach whatsoever. I had the athletic director from the school district approach me when I was out on a run in the morning. And it seemed like he was almost stalking me. He must have been on the same route as me. And he stopped because I was wearing a Bremerton shirt. And my wife worked at the Bremerton School District. And we just picked up a conversation. And next thing I know, he's like, we need coaches. And he bugged me and bugged me. And it wasn't until I saw Facing the Giants where it was like God kind of punched me in the chest and said, hey, I'm calling, this is your calling. I want you to do this. And so I was all in and made my covenant with God that I'd give him the glory after every game, win or lose.
That's amazing. What was that legal battle like for you going through something like that? And then how did it affect your family?
Yeah, it was horrible. I don't wish that upon anybody. Just the time it takes and the pressure it puts on you is just outrageous. And to throw your family into the middle of it. We had kids at the high school. We had our son and our daughter at the high school. So this was a huge thing for us. It's a small community, and my wife, she worked there for 15 years. She was the HR director for the school district. So you can imagine we were at odds for quite a while on this because here I am making a big fuss over what she thought was just me being stubborn, and she couldn't understand that the First Amendment meant that much to me because I was an American before I became a follower of the Lord. So yeah, it was long, it was hard, it was terrible, and it ended up costing about $7 million when you added up all the legal fees. So I don't know how anybody would ever get through this if they didn't have God on their side and people praying for them.
And what did you feel like during that time that really pushed you to continue on with that journey? All the times that you probably felt like stopping, was it? Did you feel like the Lord was just carrying you that entire time, or What was that like that for you?
Well, there was a lot of times I thought he just left me altogether, and it seems like he leaves you in that void, and that's when you really have to put your faith in him. And I look back on my whole entire life, and I see his fingerprints on there, on every single aspect of it, and I sit there and say, "Well, he's prepared me my whole life for this battle, so I can't let him down. I can't let my team down who are watching me. Would I just give up?" And I mean, I want to be able to be a coach again. I want to be able to be a father. I want to be a good husband if I was a quitter. And Marines don't quit. We like to fight. So they picked a fight with the wrong people.
Love that. And how long have you been coaching football for?
So I was in my eighth season. We were about 3 games into the eighth season when all of this started going down. So I had to miss the rest of um, the school year and go into the playoffs with my team, which was it was tough, especially for the first I don't know 4 years of the legal battle because all my guys were incoming freshmen. And then when they graduated, it's like, wow, now what? And here it is 8 years later. So yeah, I fought longer than it was to actually then I coached.
So, for you, when you're watching the movie, was there a particular part that's been your favorite or something that touched you the most?
Yeah, I mean, there were so many parts, and it's really hard to watch it. We haven't seen the final picture yet. We have the premiere coming up next week, and we're really nervous about it because we haven't seen the whole thing. But there was a bunch of scenes, and I don't know if all of them made it into the movie, but the shopping cart scene was probably one of my favorites. And the hardest ones were the ones where I get saw my team and things I put my wife through and the battles she went through. The Marine Corps stuff kind of made me smile because it reminded me of everything. But I couldn't be around watching them filming when they were doing the coaching part and with my wife, the battle we went through. That was the toughest for us.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, the movie had such a wide range of emotion and storytelling because, your life story is just amazing to watch, coming from and out of the foster care system into everything that you fought for. And it reminds me of one of my favorite lines from the movie, which I think is just at the very beginning, which is some things are still worth fighting for. And I
And
think that's one of the most inspiring through lines of the film that speaks to all of us in a world that we kind of feel like is getting darker and darker, that just one person standing up for something that's good can truly make a difference and have a domino effect. So I
yeah,
think
and
that's really
I look
incredible
at
about the film.
I look at it and it's like, why am I the guy for this, God? I mean, the whole entire time, I'm nobody. I'm just a high school football coach. I didn't want any of this. And it's amazing he could use the least likely people and do some incredible things. So if he could do this with me, imagine what he's going to do with everybody else that stands up and be brave and stands up for their rights and for our Lord.
That's right. And I think that's so encouraging for everybody out there watching this today is a lot of times it is the people who are like, surely this cannot be me. I cannot be the one that you're calling. And that's the one he's like, no, you're actually perfect for this.
Yeah, he's got a
So it's
sense of
really
humor.
inspiring. Yeah, he's pretty funny. And lastly, so where can our audiences find out where to watch this film? When's it coming out? Give us all the good details on that.
Yeah, I'm not a very creative guy, so you could go to the website averagejoemovie.com and you could look up all the you can buy your tickets now, you could reserve a theater, you could buy group tickets. It comes out October 11th. So really quickly it's coming up here. And I just hope that everybody just spreads the word about it because we do want to inspire other people and I think that it will touch a couple people's lives, and I really want to give them hope. So, yeah, averagejoemovie.com, and they can find out everything about it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Coach Joe. It was such a pleasure having you here, getting to hear your story, and just thank you so much for sharing it with us.
Hey, you're so awesome. You take care.
All right, you too. Bye.
Bye.